Welcome to my video. My name is Dan Sicker. In this video, I will be installing Windows Server 2019 onto VMware, and then I'll make it my domain server. So what is a server and what is a domain controller? Well, a server is just a computer, and in this case, on a virtual machine that delivers various kinds of information to a user or a client machine, which is also called an endpoint or end user. There are many different uses for a server. A server can host internet games. It could be a file server to share information, or a mail server to handle email, just to name a few. I'm going to use this server as a domain controller, which is a server that functions in several ways. First, it works as setting up administrative boundaries where you can apply specific policies to groups or users. Second, it allows you to set up boundaries for the copying or replication of information between different domain controllers. And third, it does the access control where it authenticates, authorizes, and then allows access to users who are authorized to enter the network, and this protects the network from unauthorized access to valuable information. The domain controllers are set up in a hierarchy that organizes users and devices that are on the same network. The domain is used to group and manage objects within a network or an organization. You can set up multiple controllers and have them be connected to each other in what are called trees. But for now, I'll be only setting up a single domain. Okay, I will start by selecting Create a new virtual machine. As I go through this setup, I will be selecting a lot of the defaults. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Install Device Image, and I'm going to browse to where the server ISO is. And it's right there, and I'll click Open. And then it says Windows Server 2019 detected. Okay, so I'll click Next. Under the version of Windows to install, I'll make sure I select the Windows Server Standard Core. And then you don't need to put in a product key. You can leave that blank because it's an evaluation version. But if you do have a product key and you want to use it, just go ahead and enter the information there. And as far as the password, that's optional. You really don't need it. So I'll click Next. It's going to give you an error pop-up saying that you didn't enter a product key, and it wants to know if you want to install without it. And just click Yes to continue. Okay, now we're going to select where we want the actual machine to be stored. So I'm going to click the area that I want to store it, and I'm going to click Next. Okay, now it's going to ask to choose the disk size. I'm going to leave it at default of 60 gigabytes, and it's going to split the virtual disk into multiple files. Although, if you're in an enterprise situation, you're probably going to want to be creating a lot bigger disk size than that. So I'll just click Next. Okay, next I'm going to choose to deselect the power on the virtual machine after creation, and I'll click Finish. Next, I want to edit the virtual settings. Okay, I'm going to select floppy. I don't want to install a floppy drive because according to the Cybermentor, it will install some weird files and ask for a key, and it won't work very well. So I'm just going to remove it completely. I'm not sure if you would even need a floppy disk in an enterprise situation. I don't think anyone really uses floppy drives anymore. But it may also be because there's freeware boot images out there on the internet that can be used to boot into a computer in order to reset passwords and install malware and other such things. So in order to avoid this possibility, it's probably good practice to ensure that all removable media is not part of the BIOS boot sequence. Just to boot the system OS on the hard drive is what you would like. Then the NAT is already chosen by default for the network access. This shares the IP address with the host, and that actually stands for Network Address Translation. It allows private IP addresses to access internet. And the default of 2 gigabytes of memory, I will leave it at that. But in an enterprise situation, you probably want to use more than 2 gigabytes of memory for your server. So click OK. And then I want to select Play VM. After I select Play, when it says press any key, you want to press really quickly, making sure you do it quickly so that the VM boots. Otherwise, it may not work properly. Click Play. Once the installation is finished, your computer will restart. Okay, once the installation is complete and the VM is restarted, we'll bring you to this Customize Settings screen. This is for an administrator user, and I will choose the password, capital P, A, $, W0RD. Re-enter, capital P, A, $W0RD. Enter, click Finish, and this will finalize your settings. And then the lock screen, click on Player, click on Send Control-Alt-Delete, and then you enter with the password selected, PA, capital PA, $W0RD. It's telling me to manually install VMware tools so that I can put the VM into full screen mode. After installation, I'll have to manually reboot. But for now, I'm going to change the name of the computer. I'm going to start menu, type in computer to get the menu. Select your PC name. Select rename PC. You can name the PC whatever you want your domain controller to be named. I'm choosing to name this domain controller Universe. Click Next. Prompted to restart the computer. It's going to ask you why. Just keep it with Other. Okay. Computer is restarted. Once the server is restarted, it will bring you back to the lock screen. That's it for this video. In the next video, I will be creating and setting up my domain controller. Thank you for watching my video, and if anyone has any constructive comments, suggestions, or if there's anything I missed or you can teach me, please send me an email at daniel.sicher@gmail.com. That's Daniel, D-A-N-I-E-L, .sicher, S-I-C-H-E-R, @gmail.com. Also, if you have any suggestions of what types of activity I can also do to show possible employers that what my experience I'm trying to get, please email me with the suggestions. Thank you and blessings to you. Bye.